All right, everyone. Um, well, if you weren't here on Monday, you've probably realized that I'm not Venerable Katie. She's traveling this week, and you'll have a variety of guest facilitators for the meditation. Um, Tonight is my last night. Um, so we kind of have something special organized. We'll have four people who have kindly volunteered to do the mantras, which I'm really looking forward to. I feel like this is a really special group with a wonderful energy, and having the contributions from the regulars is really going to be quite wonderful. So let's begin with a standard setting up of our meditation posture and also kind of our mental state as well. And that is basically relaxing the body and calming the mind. I'll lead you through that. And you just take whatever meditation posture is most comfortable for you. Something you're familiar with, where you can relax, but also stay somewhat attentive and somewhat alert so you can be part of the meditation tonight. So we want to relax the body and calm the mind, becoming present and letting go of the day's events so that we can fully engage in the purification. How do we do that? Well, one way is just to set our bodies in a certain way that is relaxed, still, and vigilant. And that helps our mind take on the corresponding qualities of calmness, stability, and alertness. Now, there are several ways to help with this process of setting the body in a good state. So, to become relaxed, you can scan the body, just seeing how you're feeling, moving the attention from the lower part of the body, maybe where you're sitting, or if you have feet on the floor. From there, moving upward through the body. Take the time to scan each part of your body as you move up, and noting if you have any muscle tension. What you can do is just relax that muscle tension. Make a note of Make a note of where you notice that muscle tension. Often it will come back. It can very often be habitual. And you can relax it again if it does return. If you have discomfort, just breathe into that discomfort. That's one way of relaxing the body, scanning it. We also want to make the body stable. And three ways of doing that is just to let the breath be quiet, gentle, and natural. Don't try and control it at all. By watching the whole cycle of the breath, that is, the full inhalation and exhalation, or watching the breath at the belly. So, with your stomach moving in and out, that can also help with stability, especially if you're feeling excited or distracted. And then, thirdly, just try to suppress any desire to move or fidget. Of course, if you have to move or you're feeling some strong discomfort, please go ahead. But just let the body settle into stability. And then, thirdly, we want to be vigilant as well so that we can focus on this meditation. One way to do that is just to, if you're sitting, just to raise your sternum a little bit. This is the physical posture of vigilance. Don't strain your spine, just bring energy to it. Let it be in a natural curve, but energized and upright, extended in a gentle way. Another way to remain vigilant is just to watch the breath at the nostrils or count the breaths if you're feeling sleepy or dull. By focusing on the nostrils, which is a very tightly constrained part of the body where we place our attention, that helps our mental attention also stay focused. And counting the breaths keeps the mind occupied, but also awake. So, those are the ways that we can take a physical posture of relaxation, stability, and vigilance. And these methods involve the sense feelings of our body. And so, if we're paying attention to the sensations in our body, they naturally bring us into the present so we can set aside the ruminations of the past and planning for the future. So, if you become distracted or excited during the meditation, or you're feeling dullness or sleepiness during the meditation, you can use these methods to address them. So just return to them. Tune up your bodily and mental state, and then you can come back to the meditation. So try to establish these three qualities of the body: relaxed, still, and vigilant, continually balancing them, and your mind will begin to take on the corresponding qualities of calmness, stability, and alertness. So we're using the body to cue the mind. So let's begin the Vajrasattva meditation with a visualization. Here we visualize the three types of beings: friends, enemies, strangers, because they're the field of purification. That is, they were the objects of our misdeeds that created the negative karma that we want to purify. So just make a visualization here. Seated on your right side is your father, on your left side, your mother. Your enemies and the sentient beings who disturb your mind are seated in front of you. Your friends and those to whom you are attached are seated behind you. All other sentient beings in human form surround you. So take a moment just to visualize that. If you find it difficult to visualize these hosts of beings, you can choose just a few representative ones. Point here is to think that our karma and the purification of it involves all three categories of sentient beings, not just the ones we prefer, or maybe the ones we don't know, and so it's easy. They involve all sentient beings. So now we set our motivation for the rest of this session. By doing this, whether we practice perfectly, make mistakes as everyone does, or get distracted as we all do, we still generate positive karma throughout. So in setting this virtuous motivation, not only are we purifying negative karma with the Vajrasattva recitation, we're also generating positive karma as well. And then this karma that we generate throughout the session is the substance we dedicate at the end of the session for the benefit of ourselves, our progress towards enlightenment, our friends, anyone we're concerned with and want to help out with, and all sentient beings. So as we recite the coming verse, we think that we're taking refuge in generating bodhicitta, the desire to become enlightened for all sentient beings. And we're doing this together with all sentient beings. We're relying on the power of the three jewels, Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, and bodhicitta, the wish to become enlightened for the benefit of all sentient beings. So taking refuge and generating bodhicitta. I go for refuge until I am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merits of generosity and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit transmigratory beings. Sangye chodang soki chognam la, Jantru bardu dani kyab suchi, Dagi jin sogi pe sunam gi, Drolas penchir sangye drupar shog. Sangye chodong soki chognam la, Jantru bardu dani kyab suchi, Dagi jin sogi pe sunam gi, Drola penchir sangye drupar shog. We now visualize the aspect of Vajrasattva, his right hand holding a Vajra at his heart, and his left hand resting on his thigh holding a bell. The Vajra symbolizes method, that is, activities that benefit others, and the bell symbolizes wisdom, seeing reality as it actually is. Vajrasattva is our root guru, the holy mind of all the Buddhas, the Dharmakaya. Out of unbearable compassion, encompassing us and all other sentient beings, our root guru appears in this form to purify us and all sentient beings. So we begin with the first opponent power, the power of regret, an opponent power that destroys negative karma. First, we recall the definition of negative karma, any action that results in suffering, motivated by ignorance, attachment, or anger. And then we remember our own negative karmas, recollecting them, regretting them, but not beating ourselves up over them, but taking control and purifying that karma. Almost every action we do 24 hours a day is motivated by worldly concern attached to the happiness of this life. And it's been like this from beginningless samsaric rebirths, endless, uncountable rebirths. And it is like this from birth to death in this life. Nearly every action we have created has been non-virtuous, the cause of suffering. Not only that, we have also continuously been breaking our vows, our promises not to do these things. Having all these negative imprints on our mental continuum, on our mind stream is unbearable. It's as if we have swallowed lethal poison. Therefore, we must purify all these negative karmas immediately with the antidote of the four powers, regret, reliance, remedy, and refraining from committing them again. So, in this way, through these thoughts, we generate a strong feeling of regret together with the awareness of the need to urgently purify our negative karmas. So, I'll begin with a few sentences on regret, and then Shayla will come in and do 7 of the Vajrasattva mantras for us. Lucky us. So, regret is the first opponent power to destroy negative karma. The power of regret is especially effective in destroying the negative karma that ripens in a particular way. It's called actions similar to the cause, but it's very simple. That's negative karma is destroyed by regret, which counteracts the karma of our past bad habits and harmful tendencies. So, harmful tendencies and bad habits are created through karma, and we'll destroy this karma through the power of regret. And that prevents us from repeating them in the future. So we think strongly here as we do this mantra that by destroying this karma with regret, we'll be freed from our bad habits and harmful tendencies in the future. So, in the center of the moon disk at Vajrasattva's heart stands a home encircled by a garland of the 100-syllable mantra. A powerful stream of white nectar flows from the hum and mantra garland, entering the crowns of our heads and filling our entire bodies from the top down, pushing out all our negativities. All negative karmas generated by our actions of body are purified in this way. Please go ahead, Shayla.
Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita Dido Mebawa Sutokayo Mebawa Supokayo Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawa Siddhi Mirpriyatsa Sawa Kama Sutra Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tathagata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamayatsafa Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita Dido Mebawa Sutokayo Mebawa Supokayo Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawa Siddhi Mirpriyatsa Sawa Kama Sutra Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tathagata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamayatsafa Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita Dido Mebawa Sutokayo Mebawa Supokayo Mebawa Anarekta Mebawa Sawa Siddhi Mirpriyatsa Sawa Kama Sutra Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tathagata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamayatsafa Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita Dido Mebawa Sutokayo Mebawa Supokayo Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawa Siddhi Mirpriyatsa Sawa Kama Sutra Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tathagata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamayatsafa Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita Dido Mebawa Sutokayo Mebawa Supokayo Mebawa Anarekta Mebawa Sawa Siddhi Mirpriyatsa Sawa Kama Sutra Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tathagata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamayatsafa Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita Dido Mebawa Sutokayo Let me start over. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita Dido Mebawa Sutokayo Mebawa Supokayo Mebawa Anarekta Mebawa Sawa Siddhi Mirpriyatsa Sawa Kama Sutra Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tathagata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamayatsafa Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Deno Patita Dido Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarekta Mebawa Sawa Siddhi Me Priyata Sawa Kama Sutra Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajra Mame Mutsa Vajra Bawa Maha Samaya Sattva Ahum Pe.
All right. Thank you very much, Shayla. That was beautiful. Now we go to the power of reliance. And this is reliance on the three jewels and bodhicitta, and we generate bodhicitta. And we're not practicing this Vajrasattva purification for ourselves alone. The purpose of our lives is to free all beings in whatever realms from all their suffering and its causes and lead them to the peerless happiness of enlightenment. So, in order to do this, we must first reach enlightenment ourselves. And to attain that, we have to purify all our negative karmas immediately by practicing this Vajrasattva meditation. The second opponent power is the power of reliance. And this is reliance on the three jewels, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, and bodhicitta. And this power is especially effective in destroying the negative karma that ripens as unfortunate rebirths in the future. So if you think that by destroying this karma, you can be assured that we'll have fortunate rebirths with every freedom and resource we need to benefit ourselves and all other sentient beings. So now Caitlin will I'll begin with a visualization, and then Caitlin will begin with the next set of Vajrasattva mantras. So a powerful stream of white nectar flows from the hum and mantra garland of Vajrasattva, entering the crowns of our heads and filling our entire bodies from the bottom up, pushing out all of our negativities. All negative karmas generated by actions of speech are purified in this way. So think that strongly. And Caitlin, if you would, please go ahead.
Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dino Patita Dido Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarekta Mebawa Sawa Siddhi Mempriyata Sawa Kamasita Me Tidam Shrim Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajra Mame Muta Vajra Bawa Maha Samaya Tapa Ahum Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dino Patita Dito Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarekta Mebawa Sawa Siddhi Mempriyata Sawa Kamasita Me Titam Shiram Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajra Mami Muta Vajra Bawa Maha Samaya Tapa Ahum Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dino Patita Dita Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarekta Mebawa Sawa Siddhi Mempriyata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shira Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajra Mami Muta Vajra Bawa Maha Samaya Tapa Ahum Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dino Patita Dito Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anharekta Mebawa Sawa Siddhi Mempriyata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shiram Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajra Mami Muta Vajra Bawa Maha Samaya Tapa Ahum Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dino Patita Dito Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarekta Mebawa Sawa Siddhi Mempriyata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shira Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajra Mami Muta Vajra Bawa Maha Samaya Tapa Ahum Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dino Patita Dito Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarekta Mebawa Sawa Siddhi Mempriyata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shiram Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tathagata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Tsapa Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dino Patita Dito Mebawa Sutukaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarekta Mebawa Sawa Siddhi Mempriyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Titam Shira Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tathagata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Tsapa Ahum Pe.
Thank you so much, Caitlin. That was wonderful. Now we move to the power of remedy. And we can think of this as the Vajrasattva mantra recitation is the remedy. So the power of remedy by invoking Vajrasattva through his purification mantra is especially powerful in destroying the negative karma that ripens as experiences similar to the cause. That is, us experiencing the same misdeeds in the future that we've committed against others in the past. So we can destroy this negative karma. So you can think strongly that by destroying this karma, our relationships with others in the future will always be positive and beneficial. So I will say a brief visualization, and then Anna Marie, if you would, please do the next 7 Vajrasattva mantras. So here is the visualization. A powerful stream of white nectar flows from the Hum and mantra garland at Vajrasattva's heart, entering the crowns of our heads, and like turning on the light in a dark room, all our negativities vanish. All negative karmas generated by actions of thought are purified in this way. Anna Marie, if you would go ahead, please.
I apologize. I'll start again. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dino Patita Dito Mebawa Suto Kayo Mebawa Supo Kayo Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawa Siddhi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sicham Shim Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajra Bawa Maha Samaya Satta Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dino Patita Dito Mebawa Sutokayo Mebawa Supokayo Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawa Siddhi Mempayata Sawa Kama Sutsa Me Sitam Shium Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramama Mutsa Vajra Bawa Maha Samaya Sata Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dino Patita Dito Mebawa Sutokayo Mebawa Supokayo Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawa Siddhi Mampayata Sawa Kama Sutsa Me Sicham Shium Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajra Bawa Maha Samaya Sata Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dino Patita Dito Mebawa Sutokayo Mebawa Supokayo Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasi Mampiyata Sawa Kama Sutsa Me Sitam Shium Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajra Bawa Maha Samaya Sata Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dino Patita Dito Mebawa, Sutokayo Mebawa, Supokayo Mebawa, Anarakta Mebawa, Sawa Siddhi Mampiyata Sawa Kama Sutsa Me, Sitam Shriam Kuruhum, Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajra Bawa Maha Samaya Sata Ahum Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dino Patita Dita Mebawa, Sutokayo Mebawa, Supokayo Mebawa, Anarakta Mebawa, Sawa Sidi Mapiyata Sawa Kama Sutta Me, Sitam Shiankuru Hum, Ha 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 Ho, Bhagavan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Muta Vajra Bawa Mahasa Maya Tata Ahum Pe. Om Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dino Patita Dito Mebawa Suto Kayo Mebawa Supo Kayo Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawa Siddhi Mampayata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sitam Shinkuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajra Meme Mutsa Vajra Bhama Samaya Sata Ahum Pe.
Thank you very much, Anna Marie. That was wonderful. Excellent. And now we go to the fourth power, the power of restraint. That is refraining from creating negative karmas again. So we think here, we make a vow before Guru Vajrasattva. I vow never again to commit those negative actions from which I can easily abstain. And I vow not to commit those negative actions from which I find it difficult to abstain, for as long as I can realistically refrain from doing these negative actions. So, restraint, the power of restraint from harming others, is especially effective in destroying the negative karma that ripens as the difficult and painful aspects of our environment. And I think many of us have been conscious of this in the last little while, or maybe for a while. So here, think strongly by destroying this karma, the karma that ripens as difficult and painful aspects of our environment. By destroying this karma, the world we experience in the future will be pleasant, peaceful, and abundant. So I'll say a brief visualization and then ask Elizabeth to kindly do the final 7 Vajrasattva mantras. So a powerful stream of white nectar flows from the Hum and mantra garland at Vajrasattva's heart, entering the crowns of our heads, and like a flash of lightning, vaporizes all of our negativities. All the most subtle obstructions to Buddhahood are purified in this way. So, Elizabeth, if you would please go ahead.
Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dimapatita Dito Mebawa Sutokayo Mebawa Supokayo Mebawa Anorekto Mebawa Sava Siddhi Prayatsa Sava Kama Sutta Me Titam Shiam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sava Tata Gata Vajramana Munta Vajrabhava Samaya Sata Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinupatita Dito Mebawa Sutokayo Mebawa Supokayo Mebawa Anorekto Mebawa Sava Siddhi Prayatsa Sava Kama Sutta Me Titam Shiam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sava Tata Gata Vajramana Munta Vajrabhava Samaya Sata Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinupatita Dito Mebawa Sutokayo Mebawa Supokayo Mebawa Anorekto Mebawa Sava Siddhi Prayatsa Sava Kama Sutta Me Titam Shiam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sava Tata Gata Vajramana Munta Vajrabhava Samaya Sata Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinupatita Dito Mebawa Sutokayo Mebawa Supokayo Mebawa Anorekto Mebawa Sava Siddhi Prayatsa Sava Kama Sutta Me Titam Shiam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sava Tata Gata Vajramana Munta Vajrabhava Samaya Sata Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinupatita Dito Mebawa Sutokayo Mebawa Supokayo Mebawa Anorekto Mebawa Sava Siddhi Prayatsa Sava Kama Sutta Me Titam Shiam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sava Tata Gata Vajramana Munta Vajrabhava Samaya Sata Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinupatita Dito Mebawa Sutokayo Mebawa Supokayo Mebawa Anorekto Mebawa Sava Siddhi Prayatsa Sava Kama Sutta Me
Titam Shivam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Savatata Vajananama Tavajabhavama Samaya Sata Aham Om Vajasafa Samaya Manupalaya Vajasafa Dinupatita Diyamebhava Sudokaya Nebhava Supokaya Nebhava Anorekta Nebhava Savasiva Prayasa Savakam Sutame Titam Shivam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Savatata Vajananama Tavajabhavama Samaya Safa Aham
Thank you so much, Elizabeth. Perfect, all of you. Venerable Katie must be so proud to have such incredible chanters as part of her class. Truly wonderful. Thank you all for volunteering. So from the crown of our heads, Guru Vajrasattva says, daughters and sons of the lineage, your negative karmas, obscurations, and broken and degenerated vows have been completely purified. So generate strong faith that everything has been completely purified, just as Guru Vajrasattva has said. Guru Vajrasattva is extremely pleased with our promises. Vajrasattva melts into light and absorbs into us. Our body, speech, and mind become inseparably one with Guru Vajrasattva's holy body, holy speech, and holy mind. And now we dedicate. So through the virtuous motivation we set for this session, we've generated a vast amount of positive karma, including the chanting of the Vajrasattva mantras. And while it might ripen to bring us great personal benefit, instead we use this dedication coming up so that our positive karma will ripen for the benefit of all sentient beings, especially our teachers. May the precious Supreme Bodhicitta not yet born arise. May that arisen not decline, but increase more and more. Jang Trup Sem Chog Rinpoche, Ma Kye Panam Kye Gyorchig, Ge Wan Yam Pa Me Pa Yang, Gong Ne Gong Du Pel War Sho. So we dedicate here for the long life of His Holiness, the Dalai Lama, the incomparably kind and supreme Tenzin Gyatso, and for the quick return of Lama Zopa Rinpoche. And may Venerable Katie have safe travels and a wonderful visit with her Dharma friends. And we also dedicate to everyone who's having problems at work and obstacles, anyone who's suffering from bodily pain or sickness. May they have relief and cures soon. And also we dedicate for Glenda. And if anyone else wants to add names or groups of people that we should dedicate for, just come on in and mention them.
There were just hundreds of women killed in Congo, and I don't want to go further than that because it's a little grisly, but definitely want to dedicate to those women.
Absolutely. All women, all victims in war zones, everyone injured, whether it's physically or mentally, or deprived of the necessities of life, or killed in war zones, we also dedicate for them. And also, how about we dedicate for the long life, good health, and success of everyone in this group as well. Such wonderful people, wonderful energy, wonderful practitioners. Thank you so much for having me as a guest facilitator for 2 nights. It's my honor. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Stephen.
Thank you, Stephen.
Thank you, Stephen.